I hope you didn't steal those seats because decent, hard-working people are supposed to be sitting here. Not your type, man. That's how it started. Not with a, pardon me, not with a, hey, I think you're in our seats, but with that pure, unfiltered, straight from the gutter poison. Let me back up a sec so you can get the whole picture. It was one of those early summer Saturdays. You know, blue sky so bright it makes you squint, just enough breeze to keep the sun from getting too bold. My son Leo just turned 7. All he wanted was to go to a real Yankees game. Kid's obsessed, sleeps in Yankees pajamas, has a poster of Judge over his bed, can rattle off more stats than most adults. So for his birthday, I went all out, not nosebleeds, not the cheap seats, I mean solid tickets, first baseline, lower level, full view. Cost me a small fortune, but when Leo walked through that tunnel and his eyes hit the field, man, I'd have paid twice as much just for that look. We got there early, did the lap, grabbed a new cap, still a size too big for his head, bought a bucket of popcorn, bigger than his whole torso. Section 112, row 14 seats, 5 and 6. I checked our tickets every 10 seconds, not because I was lost, but because I just couldn't believe how good they were. Leo was bouncing legs, swinging eyes wide, pointing at everything, the dugout, the scoreboard, the bullpen, even the hot dog guy. If there's such a thing as a perfect dad moment, this was it. The kind where you know deep down you're making a memory that'll last both your lifetimes. Pre-game music floating through the air, scent of hot dogs and beer and sunblock. It was America, pure and simple, and I was in it. And then top of the second inning and walks trouble. I didn't even see her at first, just felt her shadow crawl over us, followed by a wave of cheap, flowery perfume. I looked up from explaining the infield fly rule to Leo, and there she was, blonde hair pulled back in a ponytail, black tracksuit. Wrong call for summer, by the way, a face puckered up like she'd spent the morning gnawing on lemons. Her husband was with her, or some poor soul she'd dragged along, thin, balding, wearing the look of a man wishing for sudden invisibility. She jabbed a finger with these long, blinding pink nails at me and dropped that line about stealing seats. I just blinked. I mean, who opens like that? Leo didn't catch it, thankfully still working his way through the popcorn, but the tension, the way it hits the air, even a kid can feel it. I shot him a little smile, turned back to her, and took the high road. Excuse me, I think there's a mix-up. Section 112 seats, 5 and 6. Pulled out my phone tickets, glowing bright on the screen, ready to clear this up in 5 seconds. She wasn't having it. Not even close. She took one look and scoffed a sound like nails on a chalkboard. Oh, I'm sure. So easy for you people to fake things now, right? Probably just waiting for someone to hit the bathroom so you can swoop in. That you people just hanging there, ugly and heavy. Suddenly I knew this wasn't about seats, never was. Her husband looked mortified, mumbling, "Honey, let me just see the tickets." But she shot him a look that could freeze lava. People around us were starting to notice. Conversations quieted, heads turned. It was like a bubble of nasty had formed right in our row. My brain kicked into dad mode, protect Leo no matter what. So I kept my voice calm, almost weirdly so. "Ma'am, here are my tickets. Here's my son. Maybe your seats are in a different section. Easy mistake." I was giving her a way out, a lifeline she had no intention of grabbing. "Don't you condescend to me," she screeched, voice climbing an octave. "Now the whole row's listening. We've had season tickets here for 10 years, never had to deal with this element before." Element. Like I was a pest in her little baseball terrarium. Her husband was halfway down the seat wishing for the sweet mercy of a sinkhole. She puffed out her chest, planted her hands on her hips. "Not gonna let these thugs intimidate me in my own seats." Thugs. Leo heard that one. He set his popcorn down, eyes flickering between me and the screaming lady. Little brow all scrunched up. I wrapped my arm around him, whispered, "It's okay, buddy. The lady's just a little lost. We'll figure it out." But deep down, I knew this wasn't going to get figured out the easy way. I tried the husband, the human white flag. "Sir, can I please see your tickets? I'm sure we can sort this out." He started to reach for them, but she slapped his hand away. Don't you show him anything, he'll try to switch them or something. You can't trust them. The racism now just pouring out of her like a busted sewer line. That's when the guy in front, white dude, Mets hat, big beard, turned around. Hey lady, leave them alone. The man's just trying to watch the game with his kid. What's your problem? She spun on him, shrieked. You stay out of this. Is this some kind of gang activity now? I almost laughed. Gang activity, me, a 38-year-old dad, and my 7-year-old son. Her husband finally pulled out the tickets, hands shaking. Glanced at them, looked at the wall, went pale as ghost. I saw the moment he realized the truth. They were in the wrong section, wrong level. For a heartbeat, I thought he'd come clean, but he just crumpled. The tickets stayed silent. She took that silence as confirmation. See, he knows I'm right. Get out of our seats before I call security. At that point, my patience was hanging by a thread. But then I looked at Leo, his little face tucked against me, trembling, and all that anger just cooled. This wasn't about me winning an argument. This was about my son feeling safe. Ma'am, I'm not moving. If you think there's an issue, let's get an usher. Happy to show them both sets of tickets. But we'd apparently left reality about 5 minutes ago because she reached for her giant purse, pulled out her phone, and announced to the section, "That's it. I'm calling the police. I'm being threatened." The performance she put on for that 911 operator was Oscar-worthy, trembling voice, fake tears, the works. This man is refusing to leave my property. He's getting aggressive. I fear for my safety. He's with a child, but I don't know if it's his. That last bit, my blood ran cold. She was accusing me of kidnapping my own son. Leo heard it too, buried his face in my side, sobbing quietly. Daddy, are we going to get arrested? Broke me in two. Security showed up first, 2 big guys in yellow jackets. She flagged them down, launched into her story, me and my element stealing seats, being aggressive. The guards looked at me, then at her, then at my tickets, then at her husband's tickets. The truth was written right there, section 112 verses 212. But right as things were getting sorted, NYPD arrived. That's when the vibe changed. Suddenly I wasn't a dad at a ball game, I was a suspect. The younger cop went straight to cop mode, hand on his belt. Sir, I need you to stand up. Place your hands where I can see them. It was humiliating, hundreds of people staring, Leo clutching my leg. All I could think was, this is how it happens. This is how a day at the ballpark turns into a headline. I tried to explain, voice shaking. These are my tickets. This is my son Leo. It's his birthday. They weren't buying it. They ran my ID, asked Leo his name, but he was too scared to speak. Finally, the older cop, mustache, world-weary, pieced it together. He's in 112, ma'am. You're in 212. You're on the wrong level. A ripple of relief and anger swept through the rows. The Mets fan pumped his fist. Karen, though she doubled down, spatting, so what? His reaction was still out of line. He threatened me. You saw how that child was acting? The cop cut her off, voice low and final. You're the one out of line. You made a false accusation, wasted everyone's time. Now either find your correct seats or I'll write you a summons for filing a false report. Your choice. For the first time, a flicker of fear crossed her face. Her husband grabbed her arm and practically dragged her away, but not before she hissed, "This isn't over." The cops apologized, tried to explain that they had to follow protocol. But what do you say to a kid who just had his birthday ruined? Leo sat there stiff and quiet, popcorn untouched. Are we okay, Daddy? Yeah, buddy. We're okay. We did nothing wrong. We did. The rest of the game felt like walking through the aftermath of a tornado. The threat was gone, but the wreckage was everywhere. People tried to be kind, the Mets fan, the woman next to him, but all I wanted was to take my son and go home. As we walked out, a college kid stopped me. Hey man, I got the whole thing on video, everything. The 911 call, her screaming, all of it. You want me to send it to you? At first I was horrified. Who wants the worst day of their life on video? But then it hit me, this wasn't just humiliation, it was proof. Real, irrefutable proof. When I posted it online with a simple caption, I figured a few friends would comment, maybe a local blog would pick it up. But then it exploded, went viral in hours, trending across the country. News stations reached out. Celebrities weighed in. The hashtag baseball Karen was everywhere. By morning, the internet had found her staff photo job title everything. Her company's website crashed under the weight of angry comments. She was fired within 24 hours. It felt like karma, but it didn't fix Leo's fear, his questions about being arrested, the way he clung to me in public for weeks after. That's when the real twist came. A civil rights lawyer named Sarah called me, offered to represent us pro bono. This isn't just a viral moment, she said. It's defamation. It's malicious distress. And that 911 call, that's a criminal false report. We filed suit. The internet, for all its chaos, turned into a crowdsourced detective agency. People found witnesses uncovered that Karen's husband had sold their real season tickets to pay off gambling debts, that they'd tried to bully their way into better seats. The story just got uglier and funnier the more the truth came out. In the end, the lawsuit went to trial. The jury didn't just side with us. They went nuclear. $2 million in damages, a message as loud as any home run. The stadium banned Karen and her husband for life. The DA filed criminal charges, and their bankruptcy wiped out whatever was left of their suburban dream. But that wasn't the best part. The best part was the Leo Project. With the settlement, with donations pouring in, we started sending kids to ball games, kids who'd never seen a live game, families who could never afford it. Leo became the face of the project. The stadium became our place again. We rebuilt something beautiful from the ashes of that day. Years passed. One random afternoon, I saw Karen at a coffee shop, hair dull, eyes hollow, just another lost soul in the crowd. She didn't see me. I felt nothing, not even anger. Her story ended in shame and obscurity. Ours became something bigger, a force for good, a reminder that when you stand your ground and tell the truth, sometimes justice actually shows up. Not every time, but sometimes. So what do you think? Did karma do its job? Or is there a better way to make things right in this world? Drop your thoughts down below. And hey, if you've ever witnessed or been part of a public meltdown that ended with a twist of justice, I want to hear your story too. Let's keep this conversation going, because at the end of the day, how we treat each other and what we do when the worst shows up, that's what really matters.